What's up guys, Max bringing you guys another video, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys some tips for Star Wars Battlefront. So yeah, let's get right into it. First tip I want to talk about is using cover. A lot of times in this game I see people running all out in the open and they're getting shot and they're dying quickly, and that's a really bad thing to do. What you want to do as much as possible is stay behind cover. If you're on indoor, try and stay behind those trees so you won't get shot as much. If you're on a map like Solus, stay behind the rocks and the buildings and stuff like that. It just helps you to die less, and it improves your gameplay a lot. So next step is do the objective. If you're playing Blast, then yeah, go out and try and kill as many enemies as you can. It's Blast. But if you're playing Walker Assault, or if you're playing Supremacy or a game mode like that, do the objective. Go and shut down the uplinks if you're the Rebels. Keep them, go and shut down the uplinks if you're the Imperials. Keep the uplinks up if you're the Rebels. And the same goes for Supremacy. Capture the control points. Do whatever you have to do the objective. And on to the next step. Use the jump pack. You want to get to level 13 as quick as possible so you can get that jump pack, because it's really important, and it's a really helpful thing because it helps you get to high places that you normally couldn't get if you're walking or if you're running on the ground. I mean, you can get to it, but it takes a longer amount of time. So you really want to get to level 13 as quick as possible so you can get that jump pack and make it that much easier for yourself. Next step, always go for the hero power-ups. This is so helpful for your team. You want to always go for those hero power-ups, especially if you're playing a game mode like Blast, because it gets you a lot of kills and it'll help your team get into the lead. Honestly, it helps with any game mode. Plus, the hero power-ups are just fun. So make sure you take the time to figure out where those hero power-ups are in the beginning of the games, and just go sprinting for them. I mean, yeah, get the hero power-ups. Next up, use the third person. The third person is really helpful because in first person you can't see as many things as you would be able to see in third person. Like in third person, you can stand behind a tree or a rock and kind of peep around those corners, and it's something that you wouldn't normally be able to do in first person because of the view that it gives you. So I play in third person also because I don't normally aim, and using third person, when you don't aim, it kind of just a little bit auto locks for you. So I think that using third person is more, it's all based on preference, but it's easier for me. So I think using third person is at least very helpful for looking at the screen and being able to see your whole environment. So next step, use the DL44 and the DLT19. So in the beginning, when you're first leveling up, you want to use the DLT19 because this is a really all-around gun. I think I've done a review on it in my gun guide in a couple videos back. It's a really all-around gun, and it'll help you get a lot of kills, and it's just a good gun to start off with. And once you get to the rank where you can use a DL44, use this gun. It's one of my favorite guns to use. I got the deluxe edition, so this came with the DL44, but it's a really great gun, so I suggest using both of these guns because these are two of my favorite guns in the game. Next step, slow down in a plane when you're trying to shoot ground enemies. So when you're flying in the sky, and it's okay if you're flying and you're trying to shoot the enemies in the sky, but once you get towards the ground, you want to pull back on that joystick and kind of slow down because it eases you into being able to shoot enemies on the ground easier. And I'm always crashing in planes. I used to always be crashing because I was going too fast, and then I finally realized you need to slow down. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, slow down in planes when you're trying to shoot enemies on the ground, like ATs, yeah, you know what I mean. Slow down. Next step, use the scan pulse when you're playing fast-paced game modes. So if you're playing a game mode like Blast, Walker Assault, or Supremacy, you want to be using the scan pulse because it helps you find the enemies a lot easier. Like I'll put a little gameplay where I'm trying to find Darth Vader. He's like behind a rock or whatever, and he's walking around, and I'm kind of flanking him and shooting him in the back because I'm using the scan pulse so I can see where he's at easier. The scan pulse just helps you find enemies easier, and it just makes it that much easier for you to not die. So next step, use explosive shot when you're playing heroes versus villains. This is a really helpful step for heroes versus villains because the explosive shot literally melts the heroes in heroes versus villains. I mean, it'll take down like half their life off of like 5 shots if you're using the DL44. So this is really helpful explosive shot when you're playing heroes versus villains. Next up, try out different heroes and different villains when you're playing heroes versus villains, Blast, Walker Assault, anything. Try out different heroes and villains because a lot of times everyone's sticking to Luke and Darth Vader, but Han Solo is actually a really good option, and because he has that lucky shot and it's pretty much a one shot on anybody. So yeah, that's a really good step also. And I love using Boba Fett in the Heroes vs. Villains mode. So yeah, try out those different Heroes vs. Villains because it actually can turn out being really fun for you. And the next step, take advantage of the double XP weeks or weekends or whatever like that. The double XP weekends help you a lot because it's exactly what it says. It's double XP. And I mean, who doesn't want double XP? So you want to take advantage of those weekends because it'll help you level up your character a lot quicker if you're a lower level, and it just gives you more credits for upgrades. You know, you want to buy more scan pulse, you want to buy more explosive shots. So take advantage of those double XP weeks. And my last and final step is use the thermal imploder well. When you're playing in a game, a lot of times I see people just chucking that thermal imploder and it blows up and it doesn't even kill anybody. You want to wait until an opportune time where you see 3 or 4 enemies, you know, and then throw that thermal imploder because this grenade is amazing. I love this thing and it can kill a lot of enemies at once. So save your thermal imploder and don't just waste it on one person. Wait till you see a good amount of people and then use it. Anyway, guys, this has been some tips and tricks for Star Wars Battlefront. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this helps your gameplay and helps you get just that much better at Star Wars Battlefront. And yeah, this has been Skyfall Max. I'll catch you guys in the next one.